Ohio State basketball. The Buckeyes are preparing for battle, and you're preparing to listen to them. Equally important, this is the Fan Warm-Up Show.
Presented by the Ohio State Army ROTC. Designed to lead today.
Happy College Basketball Friday, everybody. Brandon Beam here alongside my good buddy Patrick Murphy. We're going to get you out to the Chrysler Center coming up here around 7:15. Paul Keels, Ron Stokes, Skip Mossick will take you through the evening. Patrick, thanks for the time. Let's do tail of the tape real quick between Ohio State and Michigan. Buckeyes 13-5 on the season, a couple of wins in a row. Michigan, number 3 in the country. They have one loss on the season, that coming to Wisconsin a couple of weeks ago at home. This is as big of a test as this Ohio State basketball team has faced to this season. Yes, you played North Carolina in a neutral conference or neutral site game, but this one is as real as it gets. A big-time home court advantage for Michigan, a top 5 team in the country, a team that is really on fire offensively, defensively. I think their average margin of victory is somewhere like 25 points. It's pretty impressive what Michigan has done this season, but Ohio State with an opportunity to kind of shock the world this evening up in Ann Arbor, Pat.
Yes, they have 2 40-point wins this year against San Diego State and against number 12 Gonzaga. They beat 2 other teams, number 24 USC and number 21 Auburn, by 30 points. And they've more or less dominated everyone else. Now, I will say, and if we're looking for positives, though the Buckeyes are almost 16-point underdogs here, they are 4-1 in their last 4 games with that lone loss coming to Wisconsin. They've only won those games by 9 points.
Yeah, so Hare got survived on the road at Penn State a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, so maybe you're catching Michigan at a good time. We were just talking on the Buckeye Show. They're retiring Trey Burke, obviously a Columbus native's jersey tonight, jersey number, which is not by accident, let's be clear. So maybe you can catch some emotion and things going on in that arena, and you're able to get out of there and pull off a huge upset.
Yeah, it would be massive, right? Let's look at the last couple of games for Ohio State. Big couple of games. Thought it was the most comprehensive performance that we got over last weekend against UCLA. Thought your stars were being stars. Devin Royal, John Mobley Jr., Bruce Thornton were terrific. Thought it was a little bit of a different story this past week. Bruce Thornton quietly gave you a super great night offensively, which is kind of what he is doing right now. John Mobley Jr. continues to be awesome. Devin Royal in those last 5 or 6 minutes continue to elevate. But I really thought it was the bench performance. And no, it wasn't anything crazy. You didn't get double digits out of anyone. But Ivan Yagovin, he gave you 9 rebounds off the bench. Colin White gave you a couple of points, gave you some hard rebounds, gave you a good assist. And even though it wasn't crazy scoring against Minnesota, you found a way to win that game. And what the Buckeyes need right now, Pat, are wins. And I don't care if it's a 1-point victory or a 10-point victory. They found a way. That game went to overtime, and they took care of business in overtime, which got them to 2 wins in a row, feeling pretty good heading up to Ann Arbor tonight.
Yeah, and when we talked to Adam Jardy on the Buckeye Show earlier, he pointed out, like, that win takes a little pressure off this game. Puts it more on Michigan to have the onus, because if you'd lost that game, that's another kind of bad loss at home against a team that's kind of been up and down this year. You win that game regardless of how it looked, and now you are on that 2-game win streak you mentioned. So I think you do take some confidence up there, and you do have things like you mentioned, Nagovin with the 9 rebounds. Like, you need that. You need somebody off the bench who can give that to you. Colin White bringing energy and effort. Gabe Cupps has had it a couple times. Like, you're definitely going to need guys like that off the bench tonight against Michigan.
Also, too, a positive in getting a win. Like, Amari Bynum really didn't do much for you.
No, didn't score.
The other night. I know he didn't score. He gave you 5 rebounds. Listen, maybe it's time he's hitting the freshman wall. I don't know. He's been playing a lot of really big minutes, and he's been awesome so far this season since he went from being on the bench to elevated to a starter. You get anything out of him tonight, you got a puncher's chance. Let's head up to Ann Arbor and check in with our great friend Ron Stokes.
It's time to go inside the Buckeyes with OSU basketball analyst and former captain Ron Stokes.
Ron, thanks for the time. Always appreciate it. Set the scene for us. Chrysler Center coming up. You and Paul here in about 10 minutes. 8 o'clock tip-off. What in the world are the Buckeyes walking into tonight, Ron? Because Michigan has been as hot as any team in the country so far.
Yeah, they've been especially good here in Columbus, in Ann Arbor. in the first half, and they've really dominated teams. Plus 20 margin in the first half against the opposition. But when you look at last year, Ohio State had lost 3 games in a row before they went on the road at Purdue. Purdue was 11th in the country, and whoever thought that Ohio State would have pulled that out, because you thought the world was coming to an end. 3 in a row playing at against number 11 Purdue, and they pull out a win, and they win 2 in a row. So you throw it up, you play 40 minutes, and I think anytime a great team loses, you look at what that team did, and I'm talking about Wisconsin. They shot it well from the 3. They played extremely well in the second half. They also answered the punch by Michigan. So all of those things Ohio State is going to have to do tonight.
Ron, I was listening to you and Paul during the last game against Minnesota, and I believe you said Bruce Thornton needs to get going here. He was 0 for 5 or 0 for 6 from the field. He finished the game 9 of 16 from the field with 23 points. It was a vintage Bruce Thornton performance. What have you seen out of him the last couple of days? I know he talked about in the preseason, going to win 2 against Michigan. It is the greatest rivalry in all of sport. It is Ohio State. It is Michigan. I know that he's got to be pumped up this evening going into the Chrysler Center.
Well, when you're a 4-year player, you have experience, and this is a game where Bruce can't wait. He needs to be the aggressor. As I mentioned a few moments ago, Michigan likes to come out and throw a punch and really take it to the opposition. They did that against Indiana. They did it against a number of teams. And so if you're Bruce Thornton, you need to come out and set the tone for your guys. You got a lot of young players on this team, namely Amari Bynum. He's coming off one of his lowest productive game in really the entire year. So I'm expecting for him to bounce back and play better here tonight against Michigan. But I really feel that Bruce Thornton, along with John Mobley Jr. and all the other upperclassmen, this is where you really need it when you're playing on the road against a very talented team.
Ron, you've played in these games. You've obviously watched a number of them up close doing this. What is different about it when Ohio State and Michigan get together on the court?
Well, it's obviously, as you guys just mentioned, Pat, this is one of arguably the biggest rivalry in all of college sports. And, I purposely wore a bright scarlet top just so that it stands out with all this maize and blue. I mean, purposely, they're retiring the number of a Columbus native and Trey Burke here tonight. I'm sure that's not by coincidence. It's a sellout crowd. They know it's Ohio State. So this is fun. This is what it's all about. You love playing games that mean something, right? This is a great opportunity for Ohio State. They have yet to get a quad 1 win. This would be a nice one.
Absolutely. Ron, I think you're underselling it a little bit. It'd be better than a nice little one. It would be a very, very good one on the resume for the Buckeyes. We got a little Puff Johnson update for us. I know he was on campus. He's active tonight. How's he look? Have you talked to him at all? And are we anticipating his Buckeye debut this evening?
I shared a great conversation with him riding from the airport to the hotel, and seems like a very mature and nice young man. Jake Diebler worked him out when he first got on campus. I saw him a little bit during the game day shoot around. They didn't do much today. You just got to be careful when you're in this building on Michigan's campus. You never know where there's cameras watching, but they didn't do much here today. But there's a good chance he may play. But it's going to be tough. I don't care how good you are to be off for almost a year and haven't played any organized basketball. You're on the road against a very talented Michigan team. I hope if he does play, he can come out and be productive.
Hey, if things get squirrely there tonight, I just want to let you know that Paul Keels is in your corner, right? And that's a good guy to have in your corner tonight, Ron.
Absolutely. And, Paul called one of my games when I played here as a player. Yeah, he was on the Michigan's broadcast.
I knew that. He was there was he there for a year, 2 years? I know it wasn't long before he came here to the Bucs. Was he there for 6? Was it maybe 1 year for the Pistons?
Six tough years from him. He figured it out and made the choice to wear the scarlet and gray.
He said, I got to get out of here. Ron, appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us. We will talk to you Monday back home against Penn State, all right?
All right, go Bucs.
There he goes. Ron Stokes with us every single game night right here on The Fan. Always great to talk to Ron. Enjoy it. Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun battle tonight. I mean, if they win this game somehow, I think it springboards Ohio State to something serious this season.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's an opportunity, and that's all you can ask for at this point. And not only is it a big game because it's the number 3 team in the country, but you get your rivals and a chance to play spoiler, which you can't ask for anything better than that.
Pat, had a great time with you. We will talk to you next week. Everybody have an awesome night. Buckeyes, Wolverines, up next right here on The Fan.
You've been listening to The Fan Warmup.
by the Ohio State Army, ROTC. Decide to lead today.
Stay tuned for Buckeye basketball on your flagship home for Ohio State athletics.